What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. It's part 2 of the Swing Blueprint. I'm here in my office. It doesn't get much better than that, guys. Out here getting some practice in, working on my swing pattern. But before I get into what I'm working on and how we're bringing this to the next level, I want to give you part 2 of my session with Ryan. We're going to go through my driver. Now, I missed one of the first couple hits, so we're going to jump right into the data, but you'll see the kind of progression of how we take the pattern that we built in part 1, apply to the driver in part 2, and we learned some really cool things about how I'm using the ground, and my numbers at the end are very solid, so stay tuned. I'm also going to talk to you guys at the end about some of the practice stuff I'm doing to integrate this and how I'm going to implement this with Max and everything moving forward. Anyway, let's jump into part 2, and I'll catch you after.
Cool. This is the highest level of torque I've ever seen from a player.
Sweet.
Really? Yeah. He's creating like 184 pounds of torque at P5.
Sorry, can I get that one more time, Ryan, for the viewers? I create the highest amount of torque.
Highest amount of torque I've seen. So let me show you real quick. I'll show you Kyle Berkshire, who's the longest player in the world. Now, this is before. I mean, this tee shot is going to go 376 yards for Kyle. So Kyle weighs more than you, right?
He's a pretty big dude, isn't he?
Kyle,
Yeah, he's tall too.
So he is creating. So he's creating here, same similar timing to you, 228% or 155 pounds of torque. That poundage though is because he weighs more.
Right.
You're actually creating a higher percentage here. You're at 299.
Right, so relative to my size.
Relative to your size, you're creating the most torque I've seen. I've never seen this approach 300.
Whew.
So
Let's go.
Let's go. Because you've put so much into the system by P5, it's just now spitting out.
Right, and I'm not even like strong enough right now.
Right.
Like I don't even really like.
And all that will do when you add strength is that's just going to help you be able to post up and control that motion. It may not add more force, but it will help you control that.
Because I'd love to have just like control over the core.
100%.
To just, and then, unwind
Yeah.
without having to feel like I'm out of my shoes.
That is absolutely fun. Good. Let it go. Wind it up and let it go.
That one didn't. I just rotated the hands.
Okay. I mean, it's close. It's really close. But you can see that when you rotate the arm over it, you deliver too little loft to the golf ball.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So path was great, speed's great, AOA is great, ball speed's great. You just delivered so little loft because you turned the arm down.
And it just dies.
Okay. You got it. Just started right. But that's okay. It's a long way.
What's crazy is that I think that one actually could have been better in the right foot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah? Let's
Yes.
take a look.
I'm just watching how his foot's like kind of
Yeah,
like moving.
that was
in the
good.
sh-
No, I
in the shoe.
agree. I would agree how that felt.
Like
It starts to retreat and then it hangs out pretty good there, man.
So he kind of caught himself almost.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Good luck though.
At some point, I definitely saw like his foot kind of bulge out of the heel of the shoe.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you've got a good view from it back over there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's good. That's really good. Okay, give me one more. Hand the ball to the foot, really wind it up and go. Woo! You hit it off the toe. I'm like, that hit the exact right spot on the screen, but you hit it off the toe so it duck hooked on you. Wind it up, let it go. And trust yourself. Keep that elbow kind of at screen, right side of the screen and go.
That's controlling, you idiot.
Now you can work on getting in the center. I think you've got a good idea of what you need to do.
Yeah.
One more though. I mean, if you can toe hook at 320 and keep it in play, that's not so bad. I mean, everything else there is great. 6 up, 1.5 out to in. It's great. You just hit 16 off the toe. Your first move is to wind that right hand over your left. Too bad it's not off the toe. So that's the problem, right? If you don't hit off the toe, it doesn't come back. So you got to start it further left. You got to start it further left with some trust that it's not going to toe back, and that's your challenge.
Right.
It's like get him in the center of the face, right? So that he can go ahead and release everything out to the left through your hand, right? Through your wrist angles, not through your lead arm.
Right.
Did you just open your stance on this one, like the push fade?
Yeah. Let's do it. Love it. Yeah. Love it.
Same motion though. Everything's the same.
There you go.
Can we do that?
Performance coach right there, man.
Yeah. Like
310 carry, 335 total.
Lane, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not stupid enough to not end on that one.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're good.
Dude, thank you so much.
Man,
You're incredible. This is great.
Right. So that's like kind of like the zone I've always lived in. Right. When I was playing my absolute best.
Right.
Like I didn't need to go like 120
No.
because I could
yeah.
accomplish this.
That's
number
center.
in
There's
minutes.
center.
Right. So
140.
efficiently creating 170 mile per hour ball speed, and then work towards adding some speed. Once you know that, hey, I can fucking.
Well, and that's going to come from repeating the crap out of that motion.
Yeah.
And then I'm just stabilizing this region. Guys, how sick is that? How sick is that? Okay. That was one of the greatest golf experiences I've ever had. I've learned so much from that, and I just feel so much relief from that. So now I got to integrate that and take all that and make this a habit. So all that work over the past year of working on the swing has now boiled up into this. And so now we have to just workshop this and do this properly. So how are we going to do this properly? So first thing is those little squishy things that you saw in the video that I was standing on. These are called force pedals. Okay. Ryan's actually the Canadian distributor for these guys. So if you're in Canada and you want these and you don't want to pay duties and stuff, you can buy them directly in Canada from him. His Instagram is below. Hit him up through that. Now, the reason why I have these is because applying this new footwork is a little volatile. I noticed that if you don't kind of rehearse it, you can deviate into your old patterns very quickly. So I've been using these basically exclusively while I'm here at the range, because if I don't, I fall into my own pattern, and then that's a no-no. So I set them up here. I do a bunch of swings where I'm just kind of like rehearsing the footwork, and then I do a bunch of swings with the ball, trying to just like aim at my target over here, and I'll clip some swings right here so you can see as I go. And I'm just working on all of the key factors of that session, which was adjusting my footwork, changing my takeaway, and changing my release pattern. Now, what's really cool is as I integrate those changes, based on the ball flight, I'm able to tell which one of the three things I am doing or not doing. So if I do all three, I should hit a perfect fade kind of off that little stake there right at the tree, okay? And if I don't, well, if I go left, I know it's my release pattern. If I go way right, I know I'm not using my footwork properly and applying my ground forces. So there's just a really great way to now be able to judge my practice. And now I just have to stand here and hit a bajillion balls and integrate this and make this pattern my reality. And then obviously the next step here is I'm going to take this move to Max now, and Max and I are going to work on integrating this into my swing more efficiently. I think we're going to move to a push fade, and he's going to help me adjust my footwork to get there. So that'll be really cool. And then we're going to do some obviously check-ins with Brian every 6 weeks or so to make sure that we're dialed in and moving in the right direction. Also, as I continue to work on my strength and all that, I want to make sure that all of those force metrics, that I'm staying exactly within my range and or exceeding that with the new strength. So that's going to be very important. And another cool thing is footwear. Now, one of the things Ryan was telling me about is that actually the type of shoes I wear makes a massive difference on ground forces, which makes sense when you say it out loud, but I never really thought that maybe the footwear I was using wasn't putting me in the best position. So those Nikes I've been wearing are gone because those aren't working for me based off of the data that Ryan saw. So one of the things we're going to be evaluating moving forward is actually what shoes should I be wearing so that I'm properly exerting my ground forces and getting the right traction. So if you want to see a video of us doing a test with that, also, if you have any questions for Ryan, put them in the comments below. I definitely want to have him on the channel more. The guy's so smart, and I want more of his input. So if you've got questions directly for Ryan, put those in the comments below. And that's it, guys. That's the end of my practice for today. I'm gonna go to the gym. Hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.